Well, skinny water this morning. Let's see if we can get out of here. It's beautiful. We should have more water right now, and we don't. Worst case scenario, we have to wait for the tide to come up a little longer. Let's do this. Previously on Spoondrifter, we spent 3 years in a boatyard bringing our 40-year-old hurricane-damaged sailboat back to life. Todd, I, and 4 of our 10 kids knew nothing about boats when we started, but with time, we have repowered, re-rigged, and turned this boat into a home that's ready for the next big adventure before we sail to Florida and leave the U.S. for bluer waters. Alright, 0.8. Let's see if we hit bottom following our track out. I did not bump bottom coming out. Goodbye, little Sarasota. We are going down the ICW on the Gulf Coast of Florida. It's been quite the interesting ride. 7 bridges today. Why are we doing this, you might say?
I said that too.
Well, because we really want to get south, and the winds and the waves are really nasty offshore, so we decided we could at least keep moving south.
Well, and the weather offshore is also blowing on the nose, so it wouldn't help us to go.
Yeah.
It's not a good weather window.
No. So, because it's not nice out there, the ICW does what it's designed to do. Let us keep moving. Shoal is what it says, not slow. Shoal. Alright, so this bridge is broken and only half of it goes up. This is really sketchy.
I think we're good, right?
I think so. You need to go to the right a little bit. Alright, that was ridiculous. Manasota Bridge, this is sailing vessel Spoondrifter.
Hey, Spoondrifter, this past the bridge.
Hey, we're looking to get an opening.
Coming in, Spoondrifter. I have you in sight. Keep coming this way. When you get down by number 45, I'll see the bridge and get one started for you.
We appreciate this. Is this Bill?
That's affirmative.
Hey, good to talk to you.
Yeah, real people.
Right?
You're awesome people. Thank you. We had chatted with Bill online. It's so much fun to say hi to people who watch our channel as we pass through their hometowns. We're clear, Manasota Bridge. Thanks, Bill.
You're welcome, Spoondrifters. Our next bridge south is Tom Adams.
All right, thank you very much. All right. This is where we are anchored. Waiting on weather. You want to go swimming in the alligator-infested water? We're anchored. It's early. It's only just after 2. It would have taken us another 4.5 hours to get down to Cayo Costa, and it's really shallow. And we didn't want to go in there as the sun was setting when we couldn't see. It's an early morning. We've got some winds coming in this afternoon that we wanted to beat, so we left before the sun rose. And it's not quite up yet, but it's pretty out here. Todd's really tired of what?
Jiggling my phone to keep the GPS working.
his phone has aqua maps, which is very, very helpful in this area. For some reason, we're having trouble keeping it moving. Like it stops, and he jiggles it and it starts. It stops, and he jiggles it and he starts. So that's kind of a pain in the butt. We have emailed aqua maps. They say that it has to be his phone. We've played with all of the settings. Only thing we can think of is he's dropped it too many times, and so the GPS is having some kind of issue. You know, boat life. Is it spitting little bubbles out his butt yet?
Well, yeah, it's also got the line. So right currently this second it's working.
Todd says I should keep filming it because it doesn't stop when I film it.
The blinding orb of heat. And we're dressed up like we're in Alaska still.
After an early start, we should arrive in Cayo Costa by noon, but the 20-knot winds that will soon be on our nose will make crossing Gasparilla Sound after we pass the Boca Grande swing bridge more than a little interesting.
All right, here we are again, one more time, babe. What are we doing? Waiting for a bridge to open?
It's a lot harder to do back and fill when it's rough, when windy.
I need to make sure I don't hit the red marker.
Yeah, here.
But at least I'm kind of in the wide spot.
Nose does not want to come around.
Opening in 5 minutes.
As you come through the swing bridge, there is an old bridge that has been dismantled. Lots of people fishing. Like the old railroad bridge. Very sketchy. As we entered the bay and crossed into Cayo Costa, things got rough, and we didn't film, but once we were anchored, Todd got us right to work on fixing our dinghy.
All right, hold it. Keep going.
It's not quite that simple.
I know it's not. All right, right there, pause.
Let go.
Lower, easy. I don't want it to slide down. If it starts to slide down, we're going to have to go higher. Hopefully it's not too tight. There we go. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and come around like this. Okay, Liberty, grab that side. Just kind of grab underneath. Grab here. Okay. Set it down right there.
Well, we got it up here. Amazing. So, as you can see, there's some damage that needs to be fixed. Got the rub rail is coming off. So, we're gonna work on that today, even though it's blowing like snot.
See me? I'm going to use some Gflex adhesive, which is a West System epoxy, on this rub rail. And I've cleaned it, and now I'm sanding it with like 60-80 grit paper with a vibrating tool. And this is what it looked like before. And this is kind of what it looks like after. So the idea is I'm trying to sand off as much of the old glue as I can, rough up the surface a little bit so that the epoxy has something to grab. This guy here is the rub rail, and this is the side that I gotta do. It's much harder to deal with. Kind of see. The glue is thicker, so it tends to gum up, not come off as easy, and you don't want to sand through the rub rail. So it's a little tougher, but hopefully I got it good enough. We'll see. It's all in the prep. That's where all the work is, and that's what makes the product last or not last, is in the prep. So, all right, mix some Gflex.
is like honey.
1-to-1 ratio. This is how big the jars are. This is 118 milliliters, which isn't very much, but it's a 1-to-1 ratio. Guess we'll see if it works.
Mom,
What?
somehow my sink was turned on and it is completely full. And I didn't even hear it because it was just on the tiniest bit.
Well,
Pull the
make
drain.
sure that there's nothing in there.
There is everything in there.
Well, get it out. Take care of it. I can't do anything with that. You see what we're doing? No, we cannot help you. Hopefully that's enough. I don't know. So,
We don't know if this worked.
I think it did. I'm confident.
I'm glad because I am not.
Well, the only thing we found, we were probably this much short, maybe 6 inches, which is a lot. Could be because the tubes are inflated and so they're expanded, and I wrap it around, it doesn't wrap all the way. Had they been more deflated, it would have been long enough, but then we couldn't tape it because there wouldn't be any, it'd be too squishy, you know? So really it's a catch-22. All of you Hypalon dinghy people, let me know how you do it. All right, should we bring in the booms? What do you want, huh? Can I get up the steps? Can I get up the steps? Guess I just have to step over you, huh? Okay, I'm working on my farmer's burn one more time, see if I can fry my white, lily white skin. I'm gonna start pulling this stuff off the dinghy here, see how it worked out. So, the rub rail for the most part is on pretty good. I got a few spots like these that weren't taped down as well. Anything where the tape didn't quite hold, it's come loose a little bit, but it's glued on underneath it really well. Going around that back bulb of the tube, the rub rail had some pretty significant indentations pre-formed into it, and because we're shorter than we weren't able to get those to line up. So we'll see how that looks. Because it required you trying to tape this tight around these curves on a piece of rubber that was not formed properly like that. See that? Because the dents weren't lined up. You can see how short it is. But it is adhered pretty dang good. And I'm really not super worried about that. Overall, I'm fairly impressed with this stuff. It seems to have done a pretty good job. Now we'll see how durable it is over time. Alright. And we've got to clean the dinghy out. Okay. As of right now, me and the outboard, we good. We good. So I changed the oil. I didn't change the oil filter because I don't have one. That's one thing I have now added to my list, but I did do the lower gear lube and put a new impeller in it. So I think I'll pull the spark plugs out, just look at them and see how they look. Fuel filter looks pretty good and clean. We're gonna go explore. Apparently it's called the Love Canal. I said, honey, we should have a date go down the Love Canal. We're gonna go check it out this afternoon and actually have some downtime that's not boat work. But before that happens, I gotta clean up all of this mess.
All right, we are trying to find the Tunnel of Love. This is kind of crazy, guys.
Ow, Denali! Tree, 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 tree.
Lots of trees.
Tunnel of Love, they call it. Not sure how you get any loving in a tunnel like this.
Dad! Don't roll in, Mom. It's
You know, the first person that went through here probably went, I bet this goes to a beach. It's fantastic.
Big tree. What was that noise?
Something scraping across the dinghy.
That thing's a dead end?
Nope. Goes that way.
Oh, fish! There's a fish! There's a fish!
Okay.
There.
Well, it comes out into this lake. Now we have to find our way to the beach.
Look how clean my dinghy is.
It was clean.
Looks like I could almost get to the beach there or here. Flip-flops or anything?
I don't think so. It's just sand. Grab the bags.
How happy she is!
Holy cow, that's a big one.
It is heavy. Look at that. It's like layered.
Yeah.
All kinds of seashells on the beach, guys.
Wow. I don't know.
Wow, look at that.
Wow, pretty.
And it's soft. It's like really smooth. Oh, that is cold.
So weird, it's like little pebbles.
I think it's shells.
Yeah, it does look like it's just shells, doesn't it?
Feeling grounded yet, babe?
Right? It's been a while. Oh, it's warm too. Thanks so much for joining us on this adventure. Next week, we'll be crossing to Key West and making final preparations for leaving the United States in our own boat. See you Sunday.